Used to meet at 9 p.m. down by the stationery nook. Just the two of us, graffiti marks, the streetlight ghosts. A hug, a kiss, that charming misprinted book, 'cause that was the one you loved the most. You tear out a page, then read a line or two. Your secret letters, hidden chapters I was longing for. You folded it and smiled. I love those words and you. And today, there's nothing I miss more. Send me letters from Poppyfield Avenue. Time-worn secrets, telling tales we knew were true. Wrapped in coffee and cinnamon air, the ceremonies we used to share. Every line a whisper, a memory to renew. Send them to me, your letters from Poppyfield Avenue. The cobblestones remember us, though now they hum alone. I keep your words inside my coat, the corners worn and frayed. My footsteps lost beneath the haze of the silver moon. But your love in those words will never fade. Send me letters from Poppyfield Avenue. Time-worn secrets, telling tales we knew were true. Wrapped in coffee and cinnamon air, the ceremonies we used to share. Every line a whisper, a memory to renew. Send them to me, your letters from Poppyfield Avenue. Postmarks wither, but time can blur what's true. Your words still bloom like poppies do. Your letters still hold that soft embrace. In every line I find more of you. Send me letters from Poppyfield Avenue. Time-worn secrets, telling tales we knew were true. Wrapped in coffee and cinnamon air, the ceremonies we used to share. Every line a whisper, a memory to renew. Send them to me, your letters from Poppyfield Avenue.
This is always so exciting. Hi and welcome to my Poppyfield Avenue paper premiere. This is Luise Heinzl. If you're new here, then welcome to my channel, and I think in this case, welcome to the Junk Journal Madness. If you're not new here, then welcome back. I'm really happy that you all are here today together with me. I feel a little bit like a broken record when I say what I will say now. But this is a very special day and a very special video and a very special journal for me. And I can't wait to share this here with you and with this journal, my new paper collection, Poppyfield Avenue. So if you are perhaps new here, or if you have never joined my paper premiere videos, then let me quickly give you a little information what this is, okay, and what you can expect from this video. So a paper premiere is not only a premiere for a new paper collection in my shop, but it's also a special format on YouTube. So a premiere video is a special format of video on YouTube. So that means this video is pre-recorded, but there's a live chat. So you can now, if you have never done that or if you don't know what that is, please search for the chat. It's either here or here, depending on the device you are using for watching this. And I find that really, really cool that we have the possibility to do something like that here on YouTube, because I really, really, really love to come in contact with you. And obviously, I want to give you, with this format of the video, the possibility to come in contact. What am I doing here? Come in contact with other like-minded people, with other junk journal people, and of course also other paper craft people in general, because a digital paper collection can obviously be used for everything. Yeah, you can make a junk journal with a digital paper collection, you can make ephemera with a digital paper collection, you can wrap birthday presents into a digital paper collection, you can make cards, whatever you want. It's not only for junk journal people, even if I have a junk journal here today. But the chat and this possibility is for me something really important, because, you know, I'm sitting here and I want to make nice videos for you. And of course, I want to hear your opinion about that. And of course, some questions or comments, whatever you want to say or ask, is important for me, because I'm sitting here. I mean, I do this for myself as well, but I'm doing that for you, obviously. And I want to have my videos also as a place where we can connect with each other. And that is the perfect possibility, I would say. So that means if you have, oh, I should say that as well. If you have never joined a paper premiere or a premiere video in general, and if you are now confused because you think, okay, she has said there is a chat, I found here something where I can write something, please make sure, and I say that because we had some confusions during the last and the paper premiere before the last one, there were some confusions because some of you have written me afterwards, I have left a comment, but you haven't answered in the chat, you haven't seen me, or you felt somehow, what is the English word? Overseen, I think. And that was because you were in the wrong place for leaving your comment in the chat. So please make sure that you are there where it says live chat. You can see that you are in the right place when the messages are moving. Yeah, you can see other usernames there and people who write something. And you can also see my name, Luise Heinzl Junk Journal Art. And I'm typing there and you can see the messages there and they are moving. Yeah, they are not frozen like in the comment section, because the problem was that some of you were in the comment section of the video and not in the live chat. And that is two different places. So if you want to get an answer to your question, or if you want to tell me your opinion about what I'm doing here, then you need to be in the live chat. It doesn't help if you leave a comment, yeah, because the comment is like under a normal video and the live chat is the live chat, yeah. And while I'm sitting in front of my computer now, and you do that perhaps as well, or in front of your phone or so, I have only access to the chat and I can only read and write in the chat and not in the comments. Please make sure that you are in the correct place. Yeah, so if you have any questions, then please feel free to throw a comment into the chat and then I will answer your questions in the chat. So that means you will not hear me saying the answer live here to you, because this video is pre-recorded. Yeah, I can't answer your questions live by speaking. Yeah, but if you see Luise Heinzl Junk Journal Art and there's a comment, then you know it's me sitting in front of my computer in that moment where you see that. Okay. Then I also wanted to use this while I'm inking this, because I can't open the journal yet, because I need to give you this information before I open the journal, because I think you will be a little bit shocked when I open the journal, and I don't want you to run away, okay? So let me ink this and explain that, and use the chance to say a very, very big thank you, because there have been so many people who have donated some things via my PayPal donation button, this little buy me a coffee thing, and also during the last paper premiere, you have really given me a ton of support, and I am so appreciative for that, because that is something really special to me. That means a lot, and of course it keeps, how do you say that, the lights on, yeah? So you make that I can do what I do here, and I am so appreciative. So thank you to each and everyone out there who has donated something, who has bought me a coffee, and so on. That is really helpful, and that also, of course, adds to what you will get on this channel, and that you can enjoy these videos here for free. If you want to, and that was, I say that now in the beginning of this video, because there have been so many questions about that, and I totally get that. YouTube is sometimes a little bit confusing if you have never done something like that before. And some people have asked me, because those people who have asked me, you have seen that other people in the chat have sent these little super stickers, these super chat thingies, where then there's a little note and there's a little like animation or so, sometimes it's an animal or so, depending on which of the stickers you choose. And there it says the amount of the donation, and then there's like a little thingy popping up, and you have asked me how to do that, because some of you wanted to donate something as well, but you didn't know how to do that. So first of all, thank you so much for your messages, and yeah, the effort you have put into sitting down, writing me a message and asking how to donate. That is also really appreciated. And to be honest, when I say that, I get goosebumps all over my body, because that's something really special, and that is definitely, I don't know the English word. It's not normal. Do you know what I mean? But in a very positive way, and I really appreciate that. So if you want to buy me a coffee or buy a super sticker in this chat, for me that's like the same thing. Then there where the chat is, either here or here, and where you type your comment, there should be on the side somewhere a little dollar note, like a little, you know, like a little dollar money thingy. And if you press that, then you can find several different options. There are these little animations, these little animals, or sometimes it's also a fruit or so, yeah, like little comics. And there it also says the amount of the donation you can choose. Yeah, there are different options if you want to do that. Of course, that is optional. Yeah, please don't feel obligated to do that. I'm just saying that because there have been several people who have asked me that, and because of that, I'm saying that here. So then, after we have inked these things, I think we can go on with the journal, and I can perhaps show you this. So what are we going to do? I will show you this journal. I will first give you some information about my paper collection, Poppyfield Avenue, what you can get with this paper collection in my shop, and then I will show you this journal in detail. Perhaps you already want to take a look at these poppy flowers here. And if you see them, please don't run away. This was, well, it was a roller coaster. I made several different mistakes, but the good thing is, now I know how to do it. I can show you how to do it. You don't have to make the same mistakes like I did here. And this is so freaking easy. I don't know if you like this. You can tell me that in the chat. It's, of course, personal taste and personal preference. If you like a journal cover, which is this like mixed media dimensional kind of thing. But if you like this, let me tell you, this is so easy. And I would say This is really cool. By the way, I made this fabric by myself, and I have a video for you which comes in the future where we make this together. So if you want to become a fabric designer, stay tuned. So now I need to take a little look at my note paper here. Otherwise I will forget what I want to say, because this is just so exciting and there's a lot to tell about this journal and the paper collection, because as I said, it was like a roller coaster for several different reasons. But nevertheless, if you like what you see in this video, you are warmly invited to watch my upcoming videos as well, because we are going to make a little time travel. So what this is like, yeah, it's like a nearly finished journal. If you know me, then you know that I have problems with the definition of a finished journal, and perhaps it's for you the same. I mean, when is a journal finished? I think you can never say that really clearly because sometimes you have the feeling a journal is never finished. So for me, this is a nearly finished journal. And I would like to show you this first in this video so that you can see what you can expect with the upcoming videos and what you can do with this paper collection. Of course, this journal is only one tiny example of what you could do with the paper collection, but it's meant to be an inspiration. And then we are going to make a little time travel, and in my upcoming videos, and let me tell you, it's a ton of videos I have. So far, I think I have 16 videos or so for you about this paper collection and this journal, because I made this really, really detailed and really step by step so that you can follow no matter which level of junk journaler you might consider yourself. And I have chosen some portions of my process for the upcoming videos to show you how I made this. And to be honest, I'm pretty proud, because with this paper collection and with this journal, I could manage to film nearly everything I did. If you already follow my channel, you know that for the other journals that was not so possible, because there have been many details which I couldn't film, like all of them. Yeah, that was really, really a problem for me. But with this thing, I think I could manage to give you really a step-by-step thing on how to make such a journal. So if you are sitting there and you think, oh, I want to make a whole junk journal, of course, that is not necessary. You can follow the videos as well if you only want to make ephemera, or if you want to get inspiration for your pages, or if you think, oh, I need ephemera which matches my next journal. Yeah, you can also follow with that idea. You don't necessarily have to have in mind that you want to make a junk journal. But if you say, I want to make a journal and I need to have a step-by-step instruction thing, then this is the right series for you. That sounds a little bit arrogant, but I'm so proud that I could manage that and give you these step-by-step information, because that is not always so easy when you make a journal and you have a YouTube channel and you know there's chaos in the room and then you want to make videos. That is not always so easy. But with this, I think I could manage to give you really a step-by-step thing, even for the cover, how to make the cover from scratch, and also binding the signatures into the cover. So then the other thing is, and that is something which is again so special to me, we have with this paper collection again an official soundtrack. I will skip some pages because I don't want to shock you with the other pages. We have an official soundtrack again, because the one and only Daniel Evans has again done his magic with the lyrics I have written for the song, and which is then the soundtrack. And I thought, while I'm saying that, I could perhaps take this and put this on here so that you don't have to stare at a blank thing, but I think I don't want to put this here. Can you imagine how difficult it is to show something where you don't want to give away too much, and then you end up with struggling with your sentences and your words? I don't know if that is something you can imagine, but it is what it is. And now I lost my glue. So we have an official soundtrack, which is obviously also called Poppy Field Avenue. You can see the Poppyfield Avenue here. And my wonderful friend, Daniel Evans, has again said yes when I asked him if he wants to do this for us. And I'm so, so, so happy. It's such a special thing because for me, music and crafting is something which really belongs together. And after the last paper premiere, where he also already did the soundtrack for us, you have given me this feedback that you also feel it like that and think like that. Where is my blending tool? That these things, crafting and music, are a really good combination. And many of you have written that you also like to listen to music while you are junk journaling or crafting in general. Doesn't have to be junk journaling. And that made me so happy. And that is something so special because when I do this and when I think, oh, that is a good idea, that doesn't necessarily mean that you feel that the same. Yeah, you could also say, well, I don't care about a soundtrack, but there have been so many wonderful comments, and that was such a wonderful feedback after the last one, so that I really hope that you will like this one as well and that you enjoy it as much as I do. And the cool thing is, you will get this soundtrack, Poppyfield Avenue, for free with your download of the papers. So that means no matter which item of the Poppyfield Avenue paper collection you choose from my shop, the soundtrack is automatically included for free. That's a cool thing, isn't it? I really hope that you can enjoy that and that you will like that. And if you like Daniel's voice and if you want to know more about him, then please check out his link tree. You will find a link down below in the description box of this video and also on in the description boxes of all of the other videos of this series. He is on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. He has a website. You can't oversee him. He is everywhere. It's really incredible. Why am I telling you that, and what has that to do with your stuff? I want to encourage you to check him out because I think he's a really special person. And if you like what I do, then I'm pretty convinced that you also will like what he does. And to be honest, if you don't go there and check him out, then you miss something. That's a fact. Why have I inked this? Can you tell me that, please? And Daniel, if you are perhaps again in the chat, you know that you are making me really nervous, even if this is not live. Thank you so much for doing your magic again to my lyrics. I mean, it's such a special thing to me, and I really enjoyed working on this journal and at the same time listening to this song, and that gave me this, somehow it brought this connection because the song tells the story behind this paper collection. And obviously I made some thoughts about this paper collection. It's not only just paper, it tells a story. And with that, it's even more special for me, and I'm really hoping that I can bring my message I have with this paper collection and also with the song to you. And it would make me really happy if you would check Daniel out and give him a follow if you like what he does. And if you want to listen to some live music, then please go to his TikTok account, because he's doing live streams on TikTok very regularly, nearly every single day, either for my time zone, so Central European time, either lunchtime or in the evenings. That might be different for you depending on where you live. But if you think, oh, I want to listen to music and I want to chat with Luise a little bit, then you know where you find me. If you check out his stories where he tells you when he's going to be live. So then, this needs to be very briefly, otherwise he will block me. So I will now stop talking about him, okay? Thank you so much, Daniel. So, I need to go on with paper number 3, otherwise I will get totally confused about what we are doing here. So, let's first talk about the paper collection and what's included in the paper collection, and then let's take a deeper look at the journal and also at those pages which I haven't shown you yet and which look really a little bit like I had an accident here. But this is not an accident, it's a special idea which is behind the journal and which the paper collection itself has brought to my head somehow. There's a total of 3 different items available in my shop. The first item is called Poppyfield Avenue Junk Journal Pages. What is that? It's the full pages you can use for making your signatures. Obviously, you can use these papers for something else as well. Tear them apart, make a collage, cut tags from them, make pockets from them or whatever. Wrap your Christmas presents into this paper. But this is called Poppyfield Avenue Junk Journal Pages. So it's the full-size pages, which I used here to make the signatures. I've just folded these papers in half. I did some other things to them, but we will go into detail about that later. But this is the pages, yeah? Junk Journal Pages, Poppyfield Avenue. Then you can find the ephemera pack in my shop. So that item is called Poppyfield Avenue Ephemera Pack, and it's all of these tiny things: tags, Polaroids, envelopes, collage material like these little letter thingies here, tuck spots, everything, and also sheets with some quotes. And these quotes are, again, like also with the last paper collection I've published, these are again the lyrics of the soundtrack. So these quotes are very unique because they are not only quotes, because they are, the lyrics of the song. So that is the ephemera pack. And the third item, and please listen very carefully if you are new here, the third item is called Poppyfield Avenue Junk Journal Kit. And that is nothing else, it's just a combination. It's nothing else than the pages plus the ephemera in one item. It's like a little bundle. If you think, I love this, I want to have this, and I want to have everything Luise has used for making this journal, then you can go to my shop and take the Poppyfield Avenue Junk Journal Kit, because then you will get everything which I have used for this and everything which is available of this paper collection, The junk journal pages and the ephemera pack are also available separately because I wanted to have something for every budget and for your needs, because there can be people who say, I already have a journal, but I don't know which kind of ephemera I could put in there, and I like the Poppyfield Avenue ephemera. Then take the ephemera pack, throw that into your journal, and you have a decorated journal in the end with the Poppyfield Avenue ephemera pack. It could also be that you say, I have made a ton of ephemera in the past months and years, but I don't have a journal yet because I don't have pages. Then you can take the Poppyfield Avenue Junk Journal pages, make your journal from that, and take your ephemera, which you already have, and throw that in there. If you have nothing and you want to craft along, or if you say, I want to join this junk journal series Luise has on her channel and I want to craft along step by step and I want to have everything, then just please take the kit, okay? I say that so aggressively because some people have been confused and some people have been obviously so excited that they already went to my shop while I had the paper premiere. I'm talking about the last paper premiere. And you have purchased all of the 3 items, but that is not necessary. You can just take the kit if you want to have everything and ignore both of the others, okay? And with the different available items. You will also obviously get the videos I have on my channel for free. That sounds a little bit weird, but I wanted to take the chance of this paper premiere to point that out. It sounds a little bit arrogant, but these videos have many thoughts behind. And I have made these so that, you know, I have taken your questions and I wanted to fulfill some of your wishes as well. And I have put a ton of effort into these videos. And I would be really happy if you could appreciate that you get these videos for free as well. It's summer. And I say that not only for me, but also for all of the other junk journal creators out there, for all of the other creative YouTube creators out there. Summer is a really, really hard time for us. And I know that there are many people who want to go to holiday. You don't want to think about paper crafting in summer because it's just too hot for handling glue and whatever. And I totally get that. But if you like what I do, then please watch the videos, okay? And I wanted to point that out because, yeah, well, I don't want to talk about trolls in this video, but do you know what? Sometimes it's really annoying because there are those people who think that these videos are there for free, and sometimes I have the feeling that some people think the videos are automatically there, yeah? And I feel the need to very briefly say that these videos have been a ton of effort, and I'm happy that you are here and that you are interested in my videos. And if you want to give me somehow like a support or so without spending money, then watch the videos. That really helps. Yeah, that is basically what I wanted to say. I hope that didn't sound weird what I just said, but it's really a hard time for those people who try to make a living with this kind of stuff during summer. So thank you very, very much for your support and for watching these videos. And of course, also in advance, because I'm recording this, I can't know if anyone has already purchased this paper collection, but I want to thank you in advance as well, because I know there will be people who will purchase this. I know you. And I also appreciate, of course, those of you who purchase everything I publish. That is really, really much appreciated as well. I really love those people who say, no matter what she's doing, I will collect it and I will follow along. That really, really means the world to me, because that also means that we are sitting together here at this desk and doing this. And it's really, I don't say that because this is my job. Yeah, I say that because I really feel this from the bottom of my heart. We are sitting here together, and this is our journal. It's not just a journal, it is our journal, which we have made together, even if I have sit here and did the videos alone, yeah, but I feel it really. And that is because of you, because of your reactions and because of your feedback. And I think you should tap onto your own shoulder, because you can be proud that you are part of this community and you made this community what it is. And I think we have a really, really wonderful community here. Okay, so then, that being said, what does my thing say here? What do I have to say next? Yeah. We perhaps need to talk a little bit about the paper collection itself, because, I mean, the video is about this paper collection, yes, but there's a ton of information, I think. I have had some thoughts about how I want my future paper collections to be. And perhaps you can already see that it's different. Not only technique-wise, you can hopefully already see that here are some things which you probably haven't seen yet in my journals, because that is something technique-wise which is new for me and which I tried out with this journal. But the paper collection itself is something where I changed my concept like nearly completely. So in this journal, there are a ton of the pages from the Poppyfield Avenue junk journal pages, and there's a ton of ephemera, but you can also see I have some leftover, and I would like to talk about that, because the one thing is, it's really important to me that you understand, especially if you are new to digital paper, that you understand that you can print this as often as you want and as often as you need it, as long as you don't do like a mass production with a machine or so, yeah, as long as you do everything with your own hands, everything is allowed. You can print this as often as you want, as often as you need it. So that means if you think, oh, she is showing her Poppyfield Avenue junk journal, that is obviously poppy themed. I don't like the avenue. I don't like letters because this paper collection is very, very letter themed. I don't like that. Then perhaps you want to take something like this and make some cards from this. Look at the style of this. It's completely different, isn't it? And that is something which was very important to me for this new concept for my digital paper collections. So with this video and with this journal, my things in the shop will also change. The things which are already there are still the same. I will not change them, but the future things will be a little bit different. Because I thought, what is a junk journal? A junk journal is nothing else than a collection of very different things we want to have in one place, in one journal. And we can obviously put into our journals what we want and what we like. That's a discussion for another day. But if we make a junk journal without digital paper, how does that then work? We perhaps go to a flea market and perhaps there we find some old Polaroid photos or some specimen cards, or perhaps we find some greeting cards, or perhaps we bought new clothes and then we saved the tags to, these little tags which are on clothes, and then we glue some paper on there, or we make a collage from that, or perhaps we have some other little bits and pieces, some envelopes, some postage stamps, some old photos from our grandparents or whatever. But it's always a mixture of very different things, isn't it? And that is what makes junk journaling so special. And I wanted to have something for this paper collection and for the future paper collections, which is exactly that. A really, really wild mixture of everything. So when you look at this, and that's why I have these pages here, so that you can see that without the techniques I did on the pages already in the journal, because I think here it's easier to understand what I was thinking when I flipped through the pages like this. You can see we have this poppy theme. It is very much also letter themed. It is very romantic somehow, but this is very different in color and in style. And that is exactly what I wanted to have. I wanted to have things which are like a mix and match thing of things. Does that make sense? Hopefully. So that means you can also say, let's make an example, okay? You can also say, I take this paper collection and I make 3 journals from that, not only one. Because you could take for one journal all of these like colorful pages, like for example, this one here. And this one, you can see these, these are more similar in style than, for example, this one and this one. And then you could say, okay, I make a second journal where I use more of these like vintage touched papers and make a like more vintage themed journal. And you could also do what I did. You could make a third journal and mix everything together. I was really surprised, to be honest. I was really surprised how well that worked because, as you can see, this is completely different. Also, the ephemera has many different things and many different elements on it. And it's also very different in style and theme. You will also see that theme. The theme is the Poppyfield Avenue, yeah, but with theme, I mean, I will go into detail about that in a second. You can see it's different. Hopefully you can see that. And I was really surprised how well that worked. If you have the right techniques, you can bring everything together. And I'm convinced that is possible for everything. And that is the cool thing about junk journaling. So that is one thing about this paper collection and a little information for you for my upcoming paper collections. And I'm really hoping that you will like this, because I think it's way more inspiration when you have something like that, which is so different and so, yeah, I mean, for example, look at both of these pieces. First I thought, can I really do that, and can I really give this to them? But then I thought, yes, we can do that, because we are junk journal people and we can combine everything with each other. And for me, it was way more fun to combine these more different things than what I did in the past, where, yeah, everything was more matchy-matchy. Do you know what I mean? So this paper collection was massively inspired by the city London. I had several, how can I say that? Several meetings with the universe again. I mean, that sounds a little bit weird, but I really had experiences which I find really extremely extraordinary. And with that, I came to the idea to let some poppy flowers grow in a really urban and also graffiti-ish surrounding. And that brought me to the idea to take some urban sketches of the city London and combine that with the poppy flowers. And as you have already heard in the song, there's a story behind this paper collection which has to do with love and a couple. And they used to meet at 9 p.m. at the stationery Nook. And they have a special relationship. I want to let that open for you, for your own interpretation, what that relationship is. Listen to the song again if you have watched this video, or if you get it with your download, then listen to it and put your own interpretation into that song, okay? For me, it has a very personal background, again, like with the last song also, and with all of the songs I have made so far. But I want that you can put your own story into that song. But both of these people, they usually went to the stationery Nook where they met each other. And she is a very special woman. She has chosen the misprinted book because that was the one she loved the most. I have put this line into the song because I think that's for nearly all of the junk journal people. We love those imperfect things and misprinted things. And we love also to tear out pages. So she, the woman from the song, she tears out the pages, or some pages, from the book, and that are her letters to him. She has chosen some lines and she reads these lines to him when they meet, and that are her letters which she gives to him. She's not writing them because the book is already written, obviously, but she sends these letters from Poppyfield Avenue to him, and then something happened. I leave that open for your own interpretation. And they can't meet anymore. And he is remembering the time with her and what they experienced together. And that is what the song is about. And that is also what this paper collection is about. And I wanted to have this journal made in a special way so that what the song describes is shown in the journal as well. I wanted to have something which flies somehow from page to page. Can you see that? That here I made something and it goes over these pages here, which have different sizes. And these different sizes are used to represent the letters from Poppyfield Avenue. And, you know, books are also not always the same size, obviously. And when you tear out pages and the symbol that those pages are the letters she has sent him, then these letters are also not all in the same size. And that is what I was trying to do here. It's really, can you hear that in my voice? It's really hard for me to explain what I was thinking behind this because it's so complex. But I had something in my mind where I thought I want to have this urban style somehow in the journal. I want to have it pretty graffiti-ish, but not necessarily very grungy. But the word grungy can be interpretation. I can't say that word. Grunge doesn't mean the same for every one of us, okay? And this is, for me, it's like colorful grunge, but it's not grunge. It's not this extremely deep, heavy, dark grunge with torn edges everywhere and, you know, extremely torn. It is a little bit worn because the letters he has kept, which are in his coat now, are also worn and the edges are frayed. Yes, but it's not extremely grungy so that it nearly falls apart. Yeah, not that stage of grunge. Hopefully that makes sense. And what about this combination of graffiti elements, like here, for example, and this more romantic thing, which is here? I'm really amazed by how well these things go together in this journal. It was for me a really surprising thing, because obviously I have never done something like this before with a paper collection or with a journal, and it was really an experiment for me, but I'm totally happy with how this turned out and how well this worked. But how could you come from this letter theme to this graffiti theme, and why this combination? That has to do with some personal things I experienced in the past. I am a really, really big fan of graffitis, but at the same time, I have the feeling that when you experienced something in your life, like, for example, a friendship, a relationship, a love, and that is somehow then with a distance, for example, because it's finished. Perhaps the relationship ended or your friendship ended. The memory of that can feel like a graffiti somehow. Sometimes I have the feeling when I look back at those situations in my life where I knew people and then they went away for whatever reason. Memories can then turn into something like this somehow. When I close my eyes, and especially when I think about the story behind the song and my personal background of the song, I have the feeling that my memories sometimes are like this, blurry. They cover up some things where I can't even remember so well what happened during that time. Some things are very, very clear. Sometimes there come little scribbly things which fly very fast through my head, and with those memories which they go very, it's like random thoughts or so, and really not so, you can't grab them with your brain and with your memory and with closing your eyes and getting a picture of what happened in the past. And then sometimes there's also something like this. Can you see this? Where like there's like a little portal, is that a word? Like a door into the past, where you can clearly see what was in the past, but there are some things, perhaps also from the present, which go around that. And that is something I tried to bring into this journal. If you want to follow the series, do you need to make such deep thoughts? Definitely not. You can also just have fun with the techniques. But I want to try to explain you what was behind this. And when I make a journal, there are always thoughts behind it. It's not only paper for me. I've talked about that in the past very, very often, that a journal is not only paper for me, and this is not only paper crafting. It gives me so much more. And with talking about that, I, of course, want to try to bring that to you as well. And yeah, perhaps for those of you who think, yeah, what is a junk journal? What can that give me? And why am I junk journaling? Why shall I make something like this? I want to bring my thoughts to you because perhaps that can be like a little starting point for you to think about these things, that this is not only paper and not only being creative, but that it's also some kind, it's some kind of healing process as well. And it's some kind of self-reflection, not only regarding to being an artist, and not only for this thing I want to grow as an artist or so, but also for your personal growth and your personal thoughts and yeah, your life, I would say. And I'm really hoping that I can bring some of that to you with this and with the upcoming videos, and hopefully also already with this video. So what I did here was it's really, it was a roller coaster. You can't imagine. Everything happened from crying to laughing. I even had, I think it was even on this, that is funny, it was even on this page, I had a little peanut here somehow. I did something here for a video, something very normal. I wanted to have something here. I will talk about that in a second. And then suddenly here, can you see it? It's still visible. Here's this little peanut. I cracked myself up. I couldn't film anymore. I needed to make a break for the video because I was laughing so hard I couldn't see anything anymore, because tears were running down my face because it was so funny in that moment. But I also had things where I thought, oh my goodness, what the heck am I doing? The people out there need to trust me 100% if they want to craft along. Perhaps you can see already that this is pretty wild, and you can perhaps also already imagine which tools I used to make this. I used a lot of these sponges to smash the mediums on the pages, and I've let them fly over the other pages. The pages are different sizes here, and you can see the mediums, they go over all of these pages. And that was a really wild technique I did there. Here as well. Oh, excuse me. Here you can probably see it very well. I smashed the ink here. So the sponge landed here, and then everything went to all of the other pages, which are under here, so that it looks like this was one, but it's different pages. Does that make sense? And that was not only very dangerous for the videos, because I couldn't know what would happen, because I have never done that before. But at the same time, it was such a roller coaster of things. I was like, oh my goodness, is this the ugly stage? What is that? There have been days where I was really questioning all of my decisions in my life, like nearly questioning my life itself, where I thought, what the heck am I doing? Why have I started like that? And why am I doing this to myself? Then there have been days where I thought, oh my goodness, this is just genius because it's so easy. And there was a very special point to me when I did this, because I learned that with this technique, and that is the technique I will show you step by step in the upcoming videos, with this technique, there is this thing that overthinking and perfectionism are gone. If you are a person like me, and you consider yourself a perfectionist, and you think, oh my goodness, I overthink everything, every single little splatter on my ephemera pieces. I need to think about that for 3 hours before I can do that. I need to think about where to glue pockets, tuck spots, and so on. for several days, forget it. You don't need to think about that anymore. That sounds so arrogant, but I found a way, which I will show you in the upcoming videos, how you can make a journal without questioning your life, without thinking, oh my goodness, I'm a perfectionist, I can't do this, this is way too uncontrolled for me. Forget it, it's not there anymore. You can't overthink the things with this paper collection, because with the techniques I did and with the single steps I did, it was impossible to think about the next step while we do this one step where we just are. Does that make sense? Because I couldn't know what would happen after my first step. And that was the reason why I couldn't think about, oh, what will I do tomorrow when I have finished this? What will I then do next? And that is something I often have. And that is a problem for me, because when you sit there and you do something, you want to be in the moment and you want to learn from what you are doing in this moment. But sometimes, or let's be honest, for me, even I would say very often, what is this? This is not part of the technique. I don't know what this is doing here. Very often I sit there and think, oh my goodness, when I have finished this, what do I then want to do? Or can I really do this now? Does this make sense? Can I stencil here? Because what do I want to do next? Is then stenciling perhaps not so good in this step? And all of these questions gone, because it's impossible with the technique I've used here to think about that. It's impossible to see what you could do tomorrow. It's impossible. So if you want to have very much fun, if you want to have a mess on your table, the upcoming videos are totally made for you. Why am I losing my blending tool? It's here. And with that, you can get something like this. And when I recorded these videos, nearly every day when I sat down here and started recording, I was like, okay, you need to tell them that they need to trust you, because there are several videos where you really could think, I have lost my mind or so. To be honest, there have been days where I thought I have lost my mind, because it's just so uncontrollable. I mean, I love uncontrollable things. If you know me, you know that I really, really appreciate those uncontrollable techniques and mediums and so on. But this was a level of uncontrollable things. I think, is there a noun for the word uncontrollable? I don't know. That was nearly too hard to handle, but I did it. And if I can do something like this, you can do it as well. If you see this, and that is another point, if you see this and you have never made a journal and you think, oh my goodness, that is a whole journal, I think I can't join this, I don't want to have the paper collection, I will run away. Don't think that. If I can do this, then you can do it as well. I made the videos really step by step, where you can, step by step, follow what I did. And I promise you, if you do that, you will be happy in the end. Well, if you like something like this, I mean, you need to be a friend of these splashy things, and a little bit of mixed media also. If you think my journals are completely clean and everything I do with my papers is inking the edges, or you use the papers without doing anything on them, would be a possibility as well. You can also, of course, take this, do nothing with mediums, and make a journal. That is possible. You can cut out the ephemera and throw that into the journal, and you would have a very nice journal in the end, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to follow, obviously you would need to like something like this and a little bit of mixed media. If you have never done something with mixed media techniques, this could also be a great chance to get into that and to try out different things and really play around with some easy mixed media techniques. what I did here is really nothing fancy. I mean, obviously you would need some, what is this? Some, for example, some texture paste. You would need some acrylic paint or some ink or so, but these techniques can really be done with nearly any kind of mediums. I have used mostly the Ranger mediums, distress ink, distress oxide ink, spray stain, oxide spray, but also a lot of acrylic paint. So you could do the whole thing only with acrylic paint as well. It doesn't necessarily have to be a spray or so. But what you would need is probably some texture paste. But I'm just thinking, even if you don't have texture paste, you could also do the stenciling I did here with the texture paste with acrylic paint as well. That would also work. It's a little more difficult to stencil with acrylic paint, but it would be possible. I'm trying to say you can use what you have. You don't necessarily need the one and the same things I had here to make this. You can go through your craft room and choose the things you already have. Yeah, you don't have to buy mediums or whatever. But if you want to craft along one by one, is that English? Like step by step, then you know now what approximately what I used. So then let's perhaps go a little more into detail about how I did this exactly and why I did this. Because I thought if you perhaps have never made a journal and you want to make a journal, or you have already made a ton of journals and you think, oh, I want to go a little bit into this mixed media, messy direction. Or if you think, I want to make a journal, but I don't know how to start and I don't know which steps I shall do in which order. I think this, and with that, the series about this journal, which is coming on my channel, is really helpful because as I said, did this really step by step. I started by making the different pages here and not the pages itself, but the sizes of the pages. There in the first video, so that means in the video which comes in a few days on the channel here, there I will show you exactly how I came to the different sizes of the papers here. Perhaps you can see when you look at this, each signature, by the way, we have 5 signatures in this journal. There are always people who want to know that. Each of the signatures has different sized papers. Can you see that? So here it starts with a smaller page. That means it also ends with a smaller page because, you know, this is one and the same paper this year. Then we go on with a little bigger size, and then the full size of my printer paper. In the first video of this series, I explain in the most detailed way I can imagine how I came to this like waterfall style of signature. And with your download, you will also get a print guide how to print the digital paper. This is mixed with coffee dyed paper, so you would need some coffee dyed sheets if you want to put the signature together like I did it here. But for the digital papers, you will get a print guide with your download. If you purchase the paper collection today and you take a look at your download, then you will find a folder there which says print guide. And there's a little information that there's a video on my YouTube channel where you can find the step-by-step instructions how to use the print guide. That video is not online today, but it will come in the next days. Yeah, please be a little bit patient. I had a really massive time challenge, you know, with my schedule for these to make this doable and to make this really easy for you, because I thought for some people it might be a problem to get smaller pages out of your printer. So I thought about the easiest way how to do that, and with that I came to the idea to give you a little print guide, so you don't need to know how to resize the prints with your printer. You don't need to know anything about your printer except how to turn it on and how to press print so that the pages come out from your printer. Yeah, you need nothing else. No knowledge about how to get different size papers from your printer, because you will get the print guide. But if you purchase it today, yeah, July 20th is today's date. If you watch this on replay, then the video might be already online. But if you purchase it today, then please wait a few days with printing if you want to follow along step by step, because the video is coming in the next days. So today is Sunday for you. That means the video where I explain that will come on Tuesday. Yeah, so the day after tomorrow. And there I show you how I did this step by step so that you can follow along to get these different size papers. If you don't want that, and if you want to just print them and do your own thing, then please print it today. Yeah, there's no problem with that, obviously. And then I thought, when we have this, and I already explained why we have the different sized pages, because I wanted to have this letter style. You can see there are a lot of envelopes in this journal as well. There will also come a video about ideas on how to use envelopes in a journal, because that is a massive part of the theme of this paper collection. And after I did that, I thought, is there perhaps a way to get a really cohesive and fun style somehow, because I find this really fun to have all of these ink splashes and the paint and everything in this graffiti style. Is there perhaps a way to do that to a blank page, to the pages and the ephemera at the same time? And with that, I came to the idea to take my ephemera pieces, cut them out from the ephemera pack, and then, can I make an example? I would need a pocket for making an example, but perhaps you can see that here. Can you see this shape here? Can you see that it looks like a pocket? That is because here was a pocket. I've removed it then. And all of this stuff around here makes the, like a negative impression, like a shadow or so of the pocket. And that is because I have taken my pieces. Oh, I think I found the tag which was here. Oh, that is coincidence. That is a very happy coincidence. Look, this tag, please ignore this tuck spot here. Yeah? This is now a tuck spot where you can put something in. But this tag, ignore this, was on the page here like so. I've taped that down with some masking tape. And then I did the fun, meaning all of the techniques, scribbling, splattering. I also made a little like advertising column effect here. Can you see that? Here on the acrylic paint there are some old book pages, so that this looks really like torn off. And I did all of that while the ephemera was taped down on the pages. So I took all of the ephemera pieces, taped them to the pages, then I've thrown the magic on it, and then I removed these pages, these pieces, so that I got these interesting frames, and with that also, for example, something like this here. And at the same time, I had something on my ephemera pieces. I had another one here, which I wanted to show you as an example. For example, this here, it was also taped down to the pages. And these pieces here and the scribbling and the ink came to this tag because of this technique. It was on the page and then I did everything and then I removed it. So that means with that, we get something to the pages and the ephemera at the same time. And then I took the things. So this tuck spot here, for example, it was originally... I can't even see it anymore. Oh yes, I think this tuck spot here, this little triangle here, it was originally taped down here before this transparent pocket came to this spot. And when I removed it, I got this triangle here, which was like a negative space because, you know, here was the original print. And all of this stuff was then around the triangle, the stenciling and these little scraps. And then I removed, after I had removed the tuck spot, I have glued it down here to another page. And with that, I got the spot for this transparent pocket. This is just a transparent pocket made from a packaging from, I guess, a stamp set or die cut set, I can't remember, but it's just from the trash can, you know, just a transparency. And I have included these little mica flakes here. So I have taken some of my Ranger mica flakes. I've tinted them with some alcohol ink to get different colors. I have this greenish color, this red, which is by coincidence called Poppy Field. The alcohol ink is called Poppy Field. I was surprised because, you know, I colored the mica flakes months ago before even knowing that I would make this paper collection. And then when I have taken this out and tried to remember which alcohol ink it was, I took the alcohol ink from my alcohol ink storage box and I was like, what? This is called Poppy Field? I didn't even know that the color was that name, yeah, because I have no knowledge about the names of the alcohol inks because they are called different than the other mediums by Ranger. You know that. So I colored them with alcohol ink. By the way, let me say that now, if you want to prepare something like this and you think, oh, I have mica flakes, I will also already make something like this so that I can follow along the series and that I can follow along with Luise's steps. Some of you are very, productive with those things and you are very fast sometimes. If you want to take mica flakes and if you want to give them a color, you need to use alcohol ink, please. Yeah. So for this red here, I have used this color here. It's called Poppy Field and it's the alcohol ink by Ranger and Tim Holtz. You can't give your mica flakes some color with the distress ink refillers or oxide refillers. That doesn't work. Don't do that, please. It will never dry. It will make the biggest mess on your table and in your room, and you can't use them in the end. They are, you can throw them into your trash can if you do that. You need to use an alcohol ink to color these, yeah, because this is like plastic or so. I don't know exactly the name of this material. It's mica flakes, but it's somehow like, wait, let me open this. It feels somehow like plastic, and you can't color them with ink. Yeah, I mean with distress ink. That will not work. You need an alcohol ink to do that. Okay, so if you want to prepare colors of mica flakes, I can't tell you which this color is because I think this is a mixture of different colors, and I also had a brown. Which is not here on my desk. I've already put that back into my shelf, I think. And I think for that, I've used sepia. I'm not totally sure. But what I also realized is nearly every red would work for this paper collection. It's really crazy. First, I thought, oh my goodness, there's red again. Perhaps you remember my Tattered Bunny collage book where I was struggling with the red in the paper collection for days. Here, it was so easy because with this technique, which is very versatile and which gives you these uncontrollable results. We have some orange, we have some brown. Here's some vintage photo in the papers. There's some walnut stain, some ground espresso. These brown colors, even some Scotch timber in some spaces, and the reds and these oranges. Even some of these rosé colors. I mean, if you do this, you would think, oh my goodness, that is not possible. If you look at this, you would think, whoo, what is that? Yeah, suddenly it works. Even if it's somehow a different red, it works. It's somehow magic. I don't know what happened here with the colors, but it works. This and this and this works together for me. I mean, that is personal taste and what you feel about that. Yeah, but for me, this works together. Even with this red here, it's somehow magic. And I have the feeling that has to do with this technique. And with the technique, and here, transparent pocket, tuck spot, the mica flakes and these little snippets are embedded in between of two layers. And I'm realizing it's really hard to get this in here because this is a little bit weird. But this is how the pocket looks. So it's then transparent. And these little snippets here I included here because these reminded me to really tiny letters. So I wanted to have these little letters from Poppyfield Avenue in the pocket. And I came to the idea to make a transparent pocket because I loved this look of the page after I've done the technique and after I've thrown the mediums on here. And I thought if I would use an opaque material here, I would lose the look of this. It's way more interesting when you can look through the pocket or this tuck spot after you've removed what's in there. And obviously when you put something in here, you also have you have 2 in 1 somehow, because you can now see this here and the microflakes and these little letters on this tag. And when you take it out, this is on the page. So it's like a double magic effect. So then, we removed the ephemera, we did this, and then then I took, as I said, these pieces and I've just glued them there where I wanted to glue them. And that was very easy as well, because here, for example, I could take this pocket and just glue it to this page where I didn't have anything before. You can see this page is pretty plain compared to the others. So I could take this and just glue that there where nothing was. Here, for example, in the center of the signature, I have this pocket, which I also got with this technique, sticking it down, throwing the mediums on, and then I got this. And in this case, I thought, okay, here is nothing yet. So let's just use one of these pockets we got with the technique and glue it down here. Take one of the tags we got here from the technique and just put it in here so that this page has something. But for most of the other spots where I glued the ephemera, I did it with a strategy. And that was so fun to do, and it was so easy because after I had removed the ephemera, let's say, for example, here in this spot. Originally on this page, there was how is that called? A tuck spot taped down. Let me quickly try to find it. It's this one here. This little tuck spot here. This was taped here to the page while I did this thing with the paste here, and while I smashed on the pages and so on, and even glued some snippets over here. And after I had removed that, I got this negative shape where, you know, this empty space was, which was behind the tuck spot, and the tuck spot has like masked the page. And when I removed it, I got this shape, and with excuse me, with that, I automatically got the spots where I wanted to glue the things down then. So I got here a line, and with this, I thought, okay, let's put that against this line. It was so clear where I needed to put these. That was so easy. It was like nearly like a puzzle, because these shapes gave me the position for the things. This here, for example, it looks like it was done in one go, right? But it wasn't. This thing was originally 2 pieces. This here is the pocket, which was taped down on another page. Let me try to find that as well. Here, please imagine this was not here. Here you can see the stenciling, this advertising column effect with the book pages and the ink here. And this thing here, this pocket, was taped down here. You can even see this rectangle here, which is still here. And after I had removed that, I got this shape. And with that, I decided I can put this on here. And now this stuff and this stuff is the background for this. I automatically got that because I removed this here. And then I had the place where I could put this down. And that sounds perhaps a little bit hard to follow or so, but if you watch the videos, which will come, then this will be so clear and so easy. And I think if you have never made a journal, this is the right series for you to start, because overthinking, perfectionism, it's not possible with this technique and with doing it like this. And I'm really hoping that you will enjoy what I did here, and that you will follow with that, and that you have your own fun. I mean, this was just so much fun. Even if I had some days where I thought, what the heck? Here, for example, I definitely have to put something over here like a die cut or so. This is something I don't like yet. I had also some technical problems during recording this. To be honest, today is for you yesterday. So for me, it's Saturday before Sunday. So it's July 19th for me. Normally, this video would already be done and it would already be on my YouTube channel. But do you know what happened? 2 of my phones, so the only 2 phones I had for filming, died during the process of making this. And I don't want to bother you with technical issues or so, but perhaps you want to have that in mind. If you watched this and perhaps you want to send some love, because I mean, it was so terrible. I lost so many nerves because of technical problems, and then at the same time I did this technique, which I never have done before. And you know, when those things come together, you really question everything in your life. It was so terrible. I guess it was because of the heat in the room. I had some overheating issues with those phones. And first I thought, okay, I have a second phone, I can use that. But then that died as well, and I was sitting here doing something. And perhaps you can imagine if you smash some medium on here and then your phone dies, then your video is for the trash can, because the medium is doing something here, obviously, and you want to show what it is doing and what you are trying to do here. And then the phone dies. I needed to put it into my refrigerator for half an hour. But how to remember where I was then and which sentence comes next in the video, it was so hard for me to do. And I'm really happy that I'm now sitting here filming with a new phone, which I had to buy, obviously. I mean, there was no other chance. I had to invest into a new phone. And that was something where I thought, oh my goodness, let this become a masterpiece, please. Let this become something where I can be happy with and where I can perhaps inspire some people, because my nerves were completely wrecked after this catastrophe happened. But nevertheless, I think this turned out exactly like I had it in my mind, and I'm really hoping that you can find some inspiration with this as well. We will also have some videos about special print media, like for example overhead transparency. Here for this pocket I did something with a transparency and an overhead transparency. So that means these little mica flakes here are again embedded in between of 2 layers of transparency, but there's an overhead transparency in the thing. And this here then adds to the design of that. Can you see that? Hopefully my camera can catch that. And now we have, when we take it out, another design here, because the page behind shows through here because this is transparent. I find this really interesting. And I have a video about that and how to do this as well. And what I also again included in this journal are some layered flowers, and I have a video about that as well. I wanted to have some really abstract poppy flowers for this journal, and I did something here with some vellum and a really easy and fun technique on how you can do these, make these and layer them. Here are also some die cuts included. Is that necessary? No. If you don't have a die cut machine, you can also take some other bits and pieces, stickers, or, you know, you can also buy these pre-die cut pieces, you know, sometimes even in a dollar store or so you can find things like this. You don't necessarily need a die cut machine for doing something like this. You can also include some fabric or some other things which you might have in your stash. This video, you will need to wait for this a few weeks because this is one of the last videos of the series. But if you're wondering how I made these flowers, then this is the information for you. There will come a video. And I wanted to show you another of these flowers because I wish I had made more, but I don't. Also this year, there will come a video about this as well. This is just a little like flip up thingy made from some vintage envelopes. You don't necessarily need vintage envelopes. You can also use your junk mail envelopes or whatever you might have, or you can take some pages from the paper collection. Just take the paper and fold envelopes. That would also be possible. But where the heck are here? Here's another of these flowers. And to be honest, I'm pretty proud. For me, these look really like poppy flowers. When I was thinking about these and when I did these, I had some prototypes where I thought, well, it's a flower, but it's not really a poppy flower. That was really a challenge for me, but I think with how I did this, it really reminds to poppy flowers. The same with the flowers I have here on the cover, the same thing. In the video, you can see I struggled with doing this because they were nice, but they were not poppy flowers until a specific point. And I was like, okay, what can I do? What can I do? And then suddenly I came to the idea how to turn them into poppy flowers, but you will see that in the video as well. And also how you can make your own fabric. This fabric here is made by hand. Yeah, this is also a page of the paper collection, which I transferred to the fabric. No, you don't need fancy things. And I found something out, which is a game changer for me when it comes to transferring paper print images printed with an inkjet printer to fabric. Mind-blowing. Coincidence. Yeah, I found that out. You will see that as well. And then I have something which I wanted to tell you as well, because I came to the idea to, and that is new for this paper collection, but it will come for the future paper collections as well, or with the future paper collections as well. I've included the name of the paper collection in the paper. Yeah, so here on this little sign it says Poppyfield Avenue, and this is obviously the stationery nook where they have met. And here it says 122, and this is here, this number is here, because this is the journal number 122 I have made in my life. So yeah, it's the 122nd journal. Is that English? Hopefully. Perhaps if you already know me, then you know that in the past I've always stamped the number of the journal into my journal, but I thought it could be a nice idea for, yeah, also for our friendship, for our community, to have the number here and the name of the paper collection. I know. If you make a journal with this paper collection, it's probably not the 122nd journal you make. If it is, please write me an email, okay? Because that would be a really, really cool thing if it was the 122nd journal for you as well. But in the most cases, that will be not the fact, yeah? But I thought it is like a little token or so. Is that the correct English word? I'm so hoping. Like a little souvenir for all of us. So when you see this and you watch my videos and you follow the series, then obviously you are sitting with me here at the desk. I've said that in the beginning. I have the feeling we are sitting here together and we are creating this together. This is our journal. And I thought it could be a nice thing if you have the number here as well. And that's why it's included here. So in the future paper collections, you can search for the number and then you will have it there, perhaps. That is hopefully a nice thing to have. And what you also will get, and that is something I forgot to say in the beginning, you will also get a blog post on my website. You know, it's for free. It's you can look at it for free. You don't even have to buy the paper collection. You can just go to my homepage and then you can see it there. On the blog post, you will find the videos, obviously, in the chronological order. If you watch this now live, you can already see a few things, you know, because of my technical problems and my time problems with the two phones which died. The blog post will probably not be completely 100% finished. If I do a night shift tonight, then I could manage perhaps to finish it by now while you are watching this. But please, If there is not everything yet, please forgive me, okay? It's just, for me, it's just a really terrible thing with those phones, and it has cost me a lot of time to solve that problem. And because of that, it could be that the blog post is not completely 100% finished when you see this live. But in the upcoming week, it will be, I will, how do you say that? I will finish it and you will find all of the information there. And that is the videos in the chronological order, photos, really detailed photos of what I did here. Also some additional information about mediums and stamps and stencils and so on, what I used for this, so that you have written information about that. And not only, you know, the information from me speaking it in the videos. When the blog post is finished, you can of course have a preview to what is coming. So when I have the videos there, some videos will be marked as private because they are not published then when you go to the blog post and look at that, but the photos and everything will then already be there so that you can see what's going to come next. Yeah, so when you look at that and you see, oh, there's the paper premiere video, and then the next video is about making the signatures, and then you can already see, oh, what is coming next, and then you can also see little photos. Oh, they are not little photos of what's coming next, and perhaps you want to get a little overview over that. And if you are searching for example, a stencil I've used, a stamp I've used, or whatever, you will find it there. Yeah, I'm not a machine. Perhaps I will miss something because I've used a lot here, but then please just write a comment and ask, okay? But I am trying my best to list all of the things I've used additionally, like stamps and stencils and so on there. And you can also find links there. They will go to Simon Says Stamp. So I'm affiliate of Simon Says Stamp. Simon Says Stamp, what a name. So if you purchase via those links some stencils or stamps, you can also support this channel, yeah, by doing that, because then I get a little like commission for that. And for everyone who is always asking, do you have an affiliate link? Thank you so much. There are some people who really ask every single time when I mention something if I have an affiliate link. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but for this, yeah, there are affiliate links, and if you want to purchase over via those links, there's no difference for you. Yeah, the cost for you is exactly the same, like you wouldn't use the link, but if you use the link, I get a little commission for that. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, no, it's not it. What I wanted to ask you, because since this catastrophe with my phones happened, for me is now Saturday, July 19th. You are watching this on July 20th. And if you are live in the chat now, if you watch this on replay, yeah, so if you're watching this weeks later, then don't do anything now, just freeze, okay? Don't move. But if you're watching this live and if you're in the chat now, then you have the chance, and that is really rare because normally I have a better in advance schedule, but it's a really rare chance, but it is a chance that you can suggest things you want to see me doing in this journal. As you can see, we have some pages, and by the way, this is a removable collage, can you see? And this is a hidden paper clip. Yes, it's a hidden paper clip. But as you can see, we have some pages where nearly nothing happened yet. So this is like nearly, it came out of my printer like this, except of this little thing and this little thing. This is just here for remembering me of something, but we have some even more plain pages. And I wanted to ask you what you want to see. Look, here has happened nothing. Here's a print on this, yes, but I also have some pages where I have nothing. What do you want to see me doing on these pages? Are there any things where you think, oh, I would like to see like a collage. I want to see this or that in detail. I want to have butterflies in this journal or whatever. Do you have any crazy ideas what I can do on these empty pages? I have my own ideas already, but I wanted to use the chance, since this is still empty, to ask you. And since my video schedule is so behind, I have the chance to do that, because the upcoming videos I have already for you. And if you suggest something today on Sunday, July 20th, I can still do that for the videos which will come in the upcoming weeks. So I thought we could use that chance. Yeah, and you can tell me things. Obviously, I can't react to that now because this is pre-recorded, but you can be sure that I will now sit in front of my computer to make notes. So whatever you might suggest, I will write that down now in this moment, and then I will try to think about the videos. Yeah, depending on how many suggestions you make now, there will come more or less videos, and yeah, I will try to bring that to life, what you will suggest in the chat now. You can also think about something for these small pages here, because with this technique, I had the pages and with that the signatures like so. And when I did my technique for smashing the mediums over the pages here, obviously all of this got something here. All of this got something here on the other signatures as well. But when we come closer to the center, here, here, and here, there is nearly nothing medium-wise and technique-wise. All of this smashing here happened on the, let's say, on the outside of the things, and here is nothing. And here's like nearly the pure print. I really enjoyed that, this style. And I thought about smashing on here as well. I mean, I could have opened the signatures and do the same technique here, but I thought for this vibe of the journal and for this story behind the paper collection, and you know, the story you can hear with the soundtrack, it's even better when it's like this, because this is again like this present and past thing, this opposite kind of style thing. Does that make sense? This wild stuff here, and then it turns into something really calm, nearly empty. Not that the memories of this are empty, yeah, but something really clean and clear somehow regarding the memories of this time the couple from the soundtrack had together. And I think I already talked about my feelings about memories. That is also such a point. Some things are very clear and very clean, and you can remember them really well. And some things are mixed up. Some things have perhaps even different colors in your imagination and in your memory. And that is for me a really cool contrast. But yeah, that's how it happened that some of the pages are plain. And that's your chance. What can we do here? Let me know. What we definitely will do is we are going to make some letter-themed page tabs, because, you know, my obsession with page tabs hasn't ended yet. I'm still addicted to page tabs, and this journal has no page tabs yet. And I thought about something which could be perhaps a fun idea, how we could make some letter-themed page tabs. And what we also are going to do is we are going to put something to eat into this journal, because the lyrics of the song in the chorus are "Send me letters from Poppyfield Avenue, time-worn secrets, telling tales we knew were true." And then it says "wrapped in coffee and cinnabon air." And yes, it says cinnabon air, not cinnamon air. Cinnabon is obviously a cinnamon bun. And that's, you know, a word, like a new word. By the way, I've learned that word from Daniel, and he has massively inspired this line of the chorus. And I would like to try to put a cinnabon into this journal. Obviously not a real cinnabon, but I want to do something where I thought that could be a really nice idea. So you can be, if you want, excited for that. You can also just sit there and without excitement waiting for that video. I haven't recorded that yet, so you can't see that in the journal. It's not here yet, but it's in my mind, and I think that is a really cool idea. And yeah, it will have to do something with real cinnamon. And I want something which really represents this feeling of the chorus and this, especially the scent of the mornings both of the people used to share. That is missing here still. And I think we also need to do something with die cuts, because nearly no die cuts involved here yet. And if you know me, you know I love working with die cuts and having little like flowers, and here flowers I would say would make sense, or even birds would make sense. I love to have these in my journals, but I wanted to keep that for the very end and show you this without that. Not only because of my time problems, but also because I thought not everyone has die cuts and not everyone has a die cut machine or wants to invest in something like that. And I wanted to show you this and that it can look cool even without die cuts. Yeah, does that make sense? But I want to have some in here, and I think I still have plenty of room in here. It goes open a little bit, but I think that's just because I've not opened and closed it so much yet. It's just because it's a little bit... the fabric is a little bit tight here, but you can see when I do it like so, it's still a lot of space in here, and it only does this because this needs to be, you know, it needs to be opened and closed several times, multiple times, so that it goes back like this. It's just, you know, when it's used, then it wouldn't do this anymore. So we have a lot of space in here. So I'm really hoping that my note paper is now full with things you have suggested. And yeah, with ideas. I'm really, really excited what you have suggested. And if there are any questions left, then please let me know. If you think tomorrow, oh my goodness, I have a question, then please just write me an email or write me a message through my shop. All of the links are down below in the description box. There's the link to the playlist. There's the link, if you watch this live, the playlist has one video, and that is this one. But perhaps you want to save the playlist for the future videos so that you can find them easier. There's the link to the blog post. There's the link to all of the printables. There's the link to Daniel's Linktree if you want to check him out. Don't forget to give him a follow if you like him. And then hopefully we will see on Tuesday for the first video of this series. I'm really excited to share the different steps with you and do this fun technique. And also this thing with the fabric, that was a special thing, and also the cover. I can't wait. I'm really hoping that this was a little bit of an inspiration for you. And as I said, if there are any questions left, then please let me know. Thank you very, very much for your support and for your lovely words. I know that you have left lovely words in the chat now, even if I can't know it, because I'm not a fortune teller, but I know that because you are very, very kind people and a very lovely community. And I just know it. So thank you very much for joining me today. And I wish you a lot of fun with this new paper collection. And of course, with all of the other things you might have on your desk. Have a very great and creative day, and see you the next time. Bye.
We used to meet at 9 p.m. down by the stationery nook. Just the two of us, graffiti marks, the streetlight ghosts. A hug, a kiss, that charming misprinted book. 'Cause that was the one you loved the most. You tear out a page, then read a line or two. Your secret letters, hidden chapters I was longing for. You folded it and smiled. I love those words and you. And today, there's nothing I miss more. Send me letters from Poppy Field Avenue. Time-worn secrets, telling tales we knew were true. Wrapped in coffee and cinnamon air, the ceremonies we used to share, every line a whisper, a memory to renew. Send them to me, your letters from Poppy Field Avenue. The cobblestones remember us, though now they hum alone. I keep your words inside my coat, the corners worn and frayed. My footsteps lost beneath the haze of the silver moon. But your love in those words will never fade. Send me letters from Poppy Field Avenue, time-worn secrets, telling tales we knew were true. Wrapped in coffee and cinnamon air, the ceremonies we used to share, every line a whisper, a memory to renew. Send them to me, your letters from Poppy Field Avenue. Postmarks wither, but time can blur what's true. Your words still bloom like poppies do. Your letters still hold that soft embrace. In every line I find more of you. Send me letters from Poppy Field Avenue, time-worn secrets, telling tales we knew were true. Wrapped in coffee and cinnamon air, the ceremonies we used to share, every line a whisper, a memory to renew. Send them to me, your letters from Poppy Field